So, yesterday's exercise was to craft a vision of just how good your life could be if you did everything that you know you should do for the next 5 years. And that was meant to give you something to aim at, something to run towards. Today's exercise is similar, but we're taking the opposite approach. Instead, we're going to visualize vividly just how bad things could get if we gave in to every impulse, if we allowed the worst in us to come forward. I think it's important to have both visions. You need something to run towards, the life you want, and you need something to run from, the kind of life that you don't want, a life that's painful, full of broken relationships and marked by regret. Psychologist Carl Jung talked about this idea of the shadow, the part of ourselves that we would rather not acknowledge. We all have impulses and negative traits that we try not to see. Each of us has these two competing wills inside, the will to do good and the will towards selfishness and destruction. And whether we admit it or not, there's a part of us that can hurt others and enjoy it. There's a part of us that puts ourselves first at the expense of everyone else, that chases short-term pleasure no matter the cost. And these darker impulses have shipwrecked so many lives, whether it's drug and alcohol addiction, pornography or infidelity, or even just our impulses towards laziness and apathy. And while many of us try to pretend that these parts don't exist, I think the best way to deal with them is to look them in the eye, acknowledge it head on. As much as we are capable of great good, maybe more than we know, we're also capable of great evil. We really do have the power to cause immense pain to the people around us, and some of us have done that. So just like yesterday, I want you to write it down. This time, we'll call it the 5-minute shadow sketch. It's important to get concrete, to really see it and feel it, which is why I want you to grab your journal or notepad and write down a vision of what your life would be like and who you would be if for the next 5 years, rather than attempting to curb your destructive behaviors and the worst in you, you allowed it to flourish. You brought it to life, you fed it and called it forth. What would it look like if you just completely gave in to your impulses? Who would you be? How bad would life be? What would your relationships look like? Be specific. And think about your own vices. Maybe it's anger, maybe drugs, maybe isolation and pushing people away. Whatever it is, seriously grapple with the consequences 5 years on if you devote yourself wholeheartedly to walking that path. The part of you that wants to abandon all responsibility and live in a self-seeking way. The part of you that is rash and wasteful and impatient, that wants to burn bridges and hurt people. I don't know what it is for you. We all struggle with different things, but we all struggle. This exercise might feel uncomfortable, but that's kind of the point. You want to feel the weight of these consequences. This is something to run from, just as yesterday's vision gave you something to run towards. Life can be so good, and it can be so painful. And we play a huge role in determining which path we follow. So take those 5 minutes right now. Write down what the worst case scenario looks like, and make it vivid. And that way you'll have both visions. One showing you what you want, and one showing you what you definitely don't want. And we'll see you tomorrow for day 12.